Welcome to Dancin Moon Songcast. I'm Scott Simpson, casting from Dancin Moon Studio in Spearfish Canyon on the north end of the Black Hills of South Dakota, right on the banks of the Spearfish Creek. If you'd like to follow along, you can download a free PDF of my lyric book from scottsimpsonmusic.com/lyrics, and of course you can find links to all my music there as well. So let's get casting and find out what song we're going to talk about this time. This time we'll be taking a closer look at Gravitate, the title song from the album Gravitate from 2018. So we'll be listening to that now, and then on the other side I'll talk a little bit about it. I won't love you tomorrow the same as today. I can't beg, steal, or borrow enough time to see just how much pain and sorrow I'd feel if we stayed only this close, like stars. No, we must gravitate. We must gravitate. Particles this entangled don't notice the space in between all the angles, the curves of your face. All the demons and angels could never displace these hearts we have wrangled together in grace. Together in grace. We must gravitate. We must gravitate. And the center will hold us together, my friend, even though we go spiraling out to the fringe. Every center is out on the edge of some other. Every homecoming teaches how love takes us further. Oh, love takes us further. Love takes us further. Love takes us. Tomorrow more than today, though I'll still feel the sorrow of lost yesterdays. We can look to the stars, though, to show us the way, start us deep in our morrow. Night spins into day. Night spins into day. In grace, together in grace, we must gravitate. We must gravitate. Oh, we must gravitate. I really like the way this song starts, with a surprise first line. I won't love you tomorrow. Kind of a surprise first line. Of course, the second line clarifies, I won't love you tomorrow the same as today. I can't beg, steal, or borrow enough time to say just how much pain and sorrow I'd feel if we stayed only this close, like stars. No, we must gravitate. We must gravitate. So this became the title song of an album from 2018, and I'd be lying if I didn't admit that there's a lot of angst currently in our country having to do with division and hatred. I was just the news today. We continue to have shootings. We continue to have tension over immigration, tension over race. That was all on my mind while I was working on this entire batch of songs that became Gravitate. And this song became the title song, I think, because it, in a really clear way, gets at, I think, what I wanted to say in the entire album. It began as a song, really, as a love song, a simple love song for my wife, Cheryl. That idea that, we're so close, but I know we could be even closer. No matter how deep your love grows, no matter how close your relationship becomes, I think there's this feeling that there's still more that we could do. There's still a deeper depth that we could go together. And that's part of what keeps relationships alive after a long time. My wife and I have been married for 32 years. And it would be sad if I thought this was as far as it could go, as deep as it could go. And that doesn't say anything about how great it is. But it does say that there's always more, especially when we talk about relationships. But beyond personal relationships, I think there's always more that we can do to connect more deeply. Gravitate becomes the kind of the metaphor for this. The stars, the gravitational pull. No matter how close we are, how attracted we are, how connected we are, we can grow closer, and we can solidify even more. That second verse really gets into something that's always interested me for a long time, quantum physics. And if you've heard anything recently about entangled particles, there's this interesting phenomena of particles that they say are what they call entangled. And these are particles that are so somehow connected that despite the fact that you might put light years between these two entangled particles, what happens to one affects the other. They're entangled somehow. And physicists, they attempt to explain that. But it's one of those things that is just a great mystery. Anyway, that seemed to be really apt as a metaphor. Particles this entangled don't notice the space in between. And then it goes back to the human element. All the angles, the curves of your face, all the demons and angels could never displace these hearts we have wrangled together in grace. And wrangled, I think, is a really good, it's kind of a cowboy term. It makes you think of cattle and dust and rough times. But, getting hearts to come in line with each other sometimes is like that. Even though we're entangled, even though we're close, even though we may both have this deep love, this deep desire, it's not always easy. Sometimes it's hard work. It's wrangling and getting them together in grace. In grace, we must gravitate. We must come closer together. The third stanza really talks a little more about maybe about relativism. And the center will hold us together, my friend, even though we go spiraling out to the fringe. Every center is out on the edge of some other. Every homecoming teaches how love takes us further. Love takes us further, love takes us further, love takes us. When you feel like you're out on the edge, you feel like you've moved to the edge of something. Maybe it's a community. You feel on the outside almost. You feel, or maybe it's your family. Maybe it's in your country. I know that there's a lot that's going on in our country right now, where people are feeling marginalized, and they're feeling out on the edge, and they're saying, "Who am I? Where am I? What's happened to my community, to my country?" But it only takes adjusting just a little bit to recognize that though you feel maybe out on the edge, every edge is the center of something else. So what am I the center of? What is the new community, the new space that I'm moving into? Am I taking the time to get to know that? If things have changed around me, if the faces and the people and the ways of doing things have changed around me and I'm feeling out on the edge, what am I missing? How can I adjust my sight so that I can see myself in the center again, so that I can see myself a part? Maybe not a part of what I was a part of, but a part of something new, something that's developing, something that's now something fresh around me. And that's a good way to look at things in these politically charged times. After the instrumental break, we come back again, reassuring about that first line. I will love you tomorrow more than today, though I'll still feel the sorrow of lost yesterdays. We can look to the stars, though, to show us the way. Stardust, deep in our morrow, night spins into day. Night spins into day. Together in grace, we must gravitate. I will love you tomorrow. There's still this sorrow of lost yesterdays. I can feel that sorrow. I can feel the nostalgia. I can feel the loss of the way things used to be, the way, whether it's a relationship or my country or my community, I can feel the loss. But at the same time, I can know that where things are now, we're all part of something that is deeply connected, deeply related. I work with a lot of people in the Lakota community, and they have a prayer, Mitakuye Oyasin, all my relatives. And it's the idea that when we wake up and we realize that we're related, we're relatives, we're brothers and sisters. And the scientists say we can look to the stars, what we're made of, all of these wonderful elements, our bodies, our world is made of, they're stardust. They're elements that come out of the stars. We're all made of the same stuff. And there's a lesson in that. The stars can show us the way, how we're connected, how even though it may be night, night turns into day. We must gravitate. We must. I think there's no choice. I think to not come together is to die, because coming together means becoming more distinctly a part of the whole that I'm already a part of. So that's Gravitate. It's a song, acoustic song. Once again, I did use, I've really enjoyed using some Apple products, actually. Some smart strings, working with some algorithms connected with the chords, creating some nice string arrangements. That's been really enjoyable, and I've enjoyed doing that. I love the connection or the combination of acoustic guitar and the strings behind that, creating this kind of chordal underpinning for the guitar. Also, the solo instrument in here is mandolin, one of my favorite instruments, especially for solo work, the mandolin. And so that mandolin comes in and is highlighted in that interim, that instrumental section, and then is at work underneath as well. At one time, I also play 4-string banjo, and I had that mixed in. I had worked out an entire arrangement that included that 4-string banjo, but a friend suggested that gave the song too light of a feel, kind of a I don't know, the things that are associated with banjo didn't feel like the right tone for this song. It's not a heavy song, but it is dealing with some heavy ideas, some really important ideas, I think. So that's Gravitate. I appreciate you taking the time to spend, and look forward to next time. As always, you can find all of my music and all my lyrics at ScottSimpsonMusic.com. Anything you might want to buy or stream, you can find all the links right there. So I look forward to seeing you again next time on Dancin Moon Songcast. Farewell.